Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How's the tour going?
It's good. We're in Houston. Just arrived in Houston for tonight's show. So it's all good. It's busy and having lots of fun.
Brilliant. You all the way back to we played The Climb there, but that's all the way back to 2009. Does it seem that long ago that you were winning the X Factor, etc.?
Well, it feels like quite a long time in the sense that I grew up a lot since then. But actually, like, time's flown, you know. Obviously, a lot of my job is travelling around and you're on a fast pace all the time. So it's gone quite fast. I mean, I find it hard to believe that it's nearly 5.5 years ago. It's frightening.
Yeah, it is. Because obviously you were mentored by Cheryl Cole, fellow. I want to find out about this. I was going to say fellow Geordie, but there's a thing called a sand dancer. Is that correct?
Well, yes. I mean, I live in Southfield, so technically I'm a sand dancer. But my dad is from Newcastle.
Yeah.
And I've spent a lot of time in Newcastle, so I suppose I'm a bit of a sand dancer and a Geordie.
Because the Mackhams and the Geordies, isn't it? That's the one, isn't it?
Well, the Mackhams, sand dancers and Geordies. My best friend's the Mackham. She's from Sunderland. So yeah, there's lots of different types.
Because obviously with Cheryl mentoring you, and you also duetted with George Michael in the semis as well. So that's just put the cherry on the cake, really, doesn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, I mean the great thing about the show is obviously I've been able to meet and work with some incredible people. You know, I did obviously the duet with George Michael. Done a load of concerts for the Queen. I got to sing with Dionne Warwick a couple of years ago on a big charity thing. So I think the profile of the show obviously has helped us to kind of, you know, be able to do some incredible things with people who I've admired, you know, like for years and years. So it's I'm forever thankful for the platform of the show for that, you know, because without obviously starting everything on X Factor, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today, you know, which is obviously touring around at the minute and getting to meet everybody on the road, and you know, the solution to her is kind of all about, I suppose, taking people through the music of where I've been over the past 5 years.
Yeah, because also 2011 was a big year for you, selling over nearly 500,000 albums. You had the pop star to opera star as well with Rolando Villazon, I think it's the right pronunciation.
Yeah, that's right.
And you went on to win it with 80% of the vote as well, so...
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, I feel very lucky that I've experienced lots of different sides, I suppose, to my career. It hasn't just all been about music, which obviously is the most important thing, but I've been lucky, you know, to be asked to be a part of certain things and do certain shows, and I think all of them things are kind of, they build you as a person as well as, you know, in your job, and makes you a bit more experienced.
Yeah. And then in 2014 you entered the jump as well, so you won that. There's a lot of strings to your bow, aren't there?
Yeah, I mean obviously, when I enter these shows, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm one of these people, when I get something in my head, I take things to the extreme. There's no middle ground. If I put my mind to something, I'm extreme on it. So, and I'm like that with my work. You know, I love what I do. I want it to be right. I want it to be good. And if I put my mind to it, I kind of go hell for leather, shall we say.
Was that meaning that you played in Extreme Prince Charming then at the Beck Theatre in Cinderella, or did you tone it down a bit then?
I was quite nice. I wasn't extreme. I was nice.
You didn't have any boos or hisses. You were the good guy, were you?
I was a nice guy, yeah.
Yeah. Because where are we? I've read in the biog that you're currently writing and recording for your 5th album. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean I've been doing it for quite a while. I know people have kind of been asking quite a bit when the new music's going to be out. We'll perform some new music in the show. That obviously is coming up your way soon.
Yeah.
But it's definitely high on the priority list, obviously. I realised that I haven't released an album for a while now, and I kind of just wanted a little bit of a breather from it all.
Yeah.
I did 4 albums in the space of like 2.5 years. It was really crammed together, and I spent a lot of time travelling around promoting it, that I kind of just wanted to go off and do some other things and, you know, live a little bit of my life as well, I suppose. I was on a treadmill for such a long time after X Factor.
Yeah.
And although I've never stopped in the kind of 5 years, I think when you're doing the touring thing, you can make the schedule fit around you a bit more, and you know, it gives us time to experience myself as a performer as well, you know, which then has a knock-on effect of the quality of the music that I do. So
Definitely.
I think it all works in the right way, hopefully.
Because in 2012 you mentioned about the albums that Here's What I Believe became the first ever X Factor winner that released 4 albums, so that's no mean feat either, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I was quite shocked that, like, everybody, that got made into, like, a big deal. Like, and everybody always brings that up, which is quite, I think, it shouldn't be a surprise, but clearly it is. I think sometimes, you know, people coming off the show have a bit of a hard time in terms of the press and the media and stuff, and people give them a hard time and kind of raise the expectation bar a little bit too high sometimes, which then creates a bit of a problem. But all I, you know, as somebody coming from the show, all I've ever wanted to do is work hard and be good at what I do, and I think that is success, you know.
Yeah.
To me, I think, and people determine success, I think, on their own expectations and their own opinions, instead of actually looking at what somebody's done and appreciating their hard work, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate. I'm not one to sit complaining. I've had great support over the past 5 years, and I've been fortunate enough to do amazing things. And, you know, hopefully long may it continue. I hope. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Because obviously you mentioned about the duet with Dion Warwick, because that was for the Hunger Project UK, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Yeah. You've also done Abide With Me with the Royal Mail Choir for immunoid prostate cancer as well, and obviously you raise, you work hard for raising money as well for charity, and also you were presented with a Silver Heart from Denise Welsh and Tim Healy as well, so...
yeah, I mean, a charity work's a massive part of, I make it a huge part of my job, because I think it's important, you know. I've been very fortunate, like I've just said before, about what I've experienced and what I've gone through in you know, as a teenager, I suppose, in the early years of my life. And I think it's important to give back. It's important to, if you can help in a way. And I'm fortunate enough again to have a profile. And if you can use your profile to raise awareness for more important causes than what somebody's hearing in a newspaper, then I think you should. You know, I think you should highlight the important charities, because you never ever know when you're going to need them yourself, and I think it's important.
Exactly. Because I read about your support of. There's a special date, or it may have already gone. Oh, I think it was in February this year for the Custom House Trust, which you have a good, a long affinity with.
Yeah, well, I used to work there. Before I did X Factor, I was the dishwasher there, and you know, there was some stories about it kind of having to close down, and that it wasn't. And it's a really, really famous venue back where I'm from, and it's been a huge part of a lot of people's lives, I think, in the community where I'm from as well. When I heard that it was possibly closing it, I didn't even hesitate. I was like, we have to do a show and raise the money for them, because it's one of them venues that you would so miss so much if it wasn't there. And I think it's important for young performers to have somewhere like a hub where performing arts is celebrated and appreciated, and that place is all about that. So hopefully, I don't think it's going to close now. I think a few people have kind of came together and managed to help them out, and a few things that have gone on, I think they've been quite lucky and they've managed to stop that happening, so that's good. Brilliant.
Because obviously in this age of austerity, it's you know, it's even more you know, the thing that you have to fight to keep something open, which is a hub of community. Really, it's you don't want it to close at all, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're also a regional ambassador for the Teenage Cancer Trust, which you completed a 140-mile 3-day bike ride with friends and family as well.
Yeah, I did.
The only reason I mentioned that, we had an interview earlier in the show from our local bike club as well, and they were doing a similar, they were doing a 100-mile challenge as well, so I think their thoughts were with you at that point as well. It's a heck of a journey, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, it was the most, it was a brilliant experience to do, riding 300 miles on a bike.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the pain in your leg is indescribable.
But you had support along the way. It drives you on, doesn't it?
Yeah, we were loads of people who, loads of fans came out and supported and had cups of tea and biscuits and cakes and really, and then at the end we rode into South Shields and there was a huge group of people waiting there and a big welcome party. It was really, really nice, which was lovely.
Lovely, yeah. The show itself, the Evolution Tour, it showcases your versatility, which won you a unique fan base, which we've got quite a few mentions for people, if that's all right. There's one lady in particular that we will mention, but we'll come to that in a minute. That basically you have a unique fan base from 5 to 95 as well. And that you'll have new numbers and new routines, as you mentioned, obviously. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is a brand new show. So we came to Skegness last year with the tour.
Yeah.
And I don't really think there's much, apart from a couple of songs, it's all brand new material. Not brand new material, but new songs off the album. So it's all stuff that people would have heard if they followed my career. And the whole kind of idea of the show is to kind of, it's a storyline musically to take you through the music of where I've been over the past 5 years. So it literally starts right at the beginning, and then we finish the show with some new stuff as well. And all the arrangements of the songs are different and exciting and fun, and there's a lot of audience participation. We do a bit of classical. It's just a really, I think there's something there for everyone.
And obviously you'll be doing the Nessendormer. That'd probably bring the house down, wouldn't it?
Well, we do a big classical. Well, no, we do a classical section in the show where there's a lot of songs like that. So
yeah.
You have to come see.
Oh, definitely.
I don't want to spoil it too much.
No, oh, right. Because the one you mentioned, was that the Set Your Soul Alive tour, the one last year, wasn't it? I think.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
You're at Skegness Embassy on the 6th of June, as we mentioned. Tickets are £19 and £10 for children, and you've also got a special VIP meet and greet as well, which is brilliant. Obviously that includes £76.50, and it's on a first come first served basis, and you have a photo opportunity, a goodie bag and a glass of champagne as well, so what more can you ask for? That's brilliant. I suppose that's giving back to the public as well, isn't it? And you've got a heck of a fan base, as we mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been very fortunate to have amazing support over the years, and honestly, I say it so much, and people probably think, oh my God, shut up, stop saying it. I am very thankful. The only reason I'm able to do what I do is because people turn up the shows, buy the music, really get behind the supporters, and all I want to ever do is give the best show I can, you know, to pay them back and make sure that I really entertain them, because at the end of the day, that's my job, and that's what I have to be good at. So
yeah.
That's how I want to repay them, by giving them the best show.
Yeah, because you finish. You're up in this neck of the woods on the 6th of November in Scunthorpe at the Plowright Theatre, and again in November at one of my I used to live actually at Millfield Theatre on the 7th of November, which is a lovely theatre in Edmonton, North London. So
we're travelling all over the place. You can't get rid of it.
And you finish, as you mentioned, in South Shields as well. and I think the whole thing took place, I think you started on May the 21st and finishing, well, that was in Lanark, and you finish on the 22nd of November, so it's...
We actually started the whole tour in March.
Oh my goodness, sorry.
No, it's alright. So I think it'll be nearly 150 shows by the end of November.
Yeah, I was trying to count them through, but it must be about that amount, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you're due in September, after all of this, if this is still going on, to star as Tommy in the rock musical at the Winter Gardens as well. Is that still going on?
Yeah. Yeah. I started business for that in August, and we are doing I think it's 2.5 weeks up in the Blackpool Winter Gardens of a full production of Tommy the Musical with all the huge music. It's really exciting. I've done a one-off concert for that before, and so I'm doing a full production of it now with a cast. That'd be fabulous. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, there's the big boots as well, isn't it? Is that part of it? I know they have them in the film when Tommy's got the big Dr. Martin things on.
Yeah, it's quite a full-on role. There's lots of stuff going on, but obviously I don't know anything yet. They're not telling me anything until they're trying to keep it under wraps.
Yeah. You mentioned about the sand dancers and whatever. You got a really big list of fellow sand dancers as well. Catherine Cookson, Sir Ridley Scott, Eric Idle, Sarah Millican, Chris Ramsey, Alex Capronis from Franz Ferdinand, yourself, William Fox, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Phil Brown, Southend manager who's got newly promoted as well. So that's a heck of a list, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be something in the water.
It must be, yeah. The other thing I was going to mention, we promised people that we're going to do this. It's quite a long list, so if you can bear with me, and we will finish off with one lady who's come an awful long way to see you. So we'll say hello to Pammy, Laura Jane Robson, Pam Evans, Calm, if I've got your name right, Julie Cathwell, Soren Glinvad, who's a gentleman from Denmark, Pammy from Taiwan, Paula Williams, who's named the Exile Scouser, Jenny Lawson, Mona, our very own Dan Alcorn here, Annie L, Sharon Godbert, Rosie Hall, Jeanette Cummings, and Donna. And the lady we finish with is Leanne Smiley, who wants a shout out because she will be flying over from Canada to see you perform for 2 weeks. So that's devotion.
Big hello to everyone. Big hello, that's a big list. So massive hello to everybody that's listening.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And we could have mentioned a few more, but it's just been an amazing response. So thank you for your time. And I know you're a busy chap and everything, and we do appreciate your time. And anyone, if there are any tickets left for this Skegness Embassy this Saturday, please snap them up. And I'll give you the details after the interview. But Joe, thank you ever so much for your time and all your charity work, all of everything you do, and long may it continue.
Thank you for your time. Have a nice day, and thank you to everybody that's tuned in.
Thank you. And we talked about off air, but if we can just do a couple of vignettes as well, which if you could just mention, hi, this is Joe McElderry, and you're listening to Endeavour Radio, please.
Hello, this is Joe McElderry, and you're listening to Endeavour Radio.
Brilliant, thank you. And one for our 90s DJ is Dan Alcorn. If you could say, hi, this is Joe McElderry, you're listening to the 90s show with Dan Alcorn, please. Thank you.
Hello, this is Joe McElderry, and you're listening to the 90s show with Dan Alcorn.
That is brilliant. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Joe. And have a brilliant day. Have a brilliant day on this Saturday.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.